Hello, sixth grade, and welcome back. We're going to continue our test prep that we started with Miss Julia in last class. So I already have my question sampler website open. I'm going to select the subject, ELA, grade 6. We are all in sixth grade, and we're going to choose sampler 3 today. 3. Start test. These are some accommodations for those who need them. And let's learn how to take our test. We are online, green button, online. In case there is an X, you are offline, but for right now I'm online, so that's good. We know our directions if we need to review them and sign out if we need to pause our test or complete it. Our review to go over our questions before we submit. You always double check before you submit. Navigate buttons to move left or right across questions. These little arrows only move the divider that separates the text from the questions. So these are the split screen controls. The big arrows move the questions. So from question 1 to question 2 and so forth. If the words are too small for you, you might want to click the zoom button so that they can be bigger. You might want to bookmark pages if you want to come back to it at a later time. And of course, we love to take notes. We love to take notes. All right. We have our highlighter that we love, our answer eliminator, so we pick the best choice, and of course our line reader for some of us that need that. So let's start our test. All right, Twilight Calm. So this is definitely not a story because the words are not across the page. I don't think it's an informational text, so I'm gonna assume that this is a poem. How many of us agree? Give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. Do you think this is a poem? Yes or no? Okay. So how do we annotate a poem? I think we would really just have to make sense of each stanza. Do we know what a stanza is? What is a stanza? Yes, I think I heard someone say that. A stanza is essentially a paragraph in poem form. Right? Each stanza should have a different idea, just like each paragraph would have a different idea in a story. So, with that knowledge, let's use our notes to annotate. But I'm going to read first. Oh, pleasant eventide, clouds on the western side grow gray and grayer, hiding the warm sun. The bees and birds, their happy labors done, seek their close nests and bide. Screened in the leafy wood, the stock doves sit and brood. The very squirrel leaps bough to bough, but lazily pauses and settles now, where he once stored his food. One by one the flowers close, lily and dewy rose, shutting their tender petals from the moon. The grasshoppers are still, but not so soon, are still the noisy crows. The dorm house squats and eats choice little dainty bits beneath the spreading roots of a broad lime. Nibbling his fill, he stops from time to time and listens where he sits. From far the lowings come of cattle driven home. From farther still the wind brings fitfully the vast continual murmur of the sea, now loud, now almost dumb. The gnats whirl in the air, the evening gnats, and there the owl opes broad his eyes and wings to sail. For prey the bat wakes, and the shell-less snail comes forth, clammy and bare. Hark, that's the nightingale, telling the self-same tale. Her song told when this ancient earth was young. So echoes answered when her song was sung. In the first wooded vale, we call it love and pain, the passion of her strain, and yet we little understand or know. Why should it not be rather joy that so throbs in each throbbing vein? In separate herds the deer lie, here's the bucks, and here the does, and by its mother sleeps the fawn. Through all the hours of the night until the dawn, they sleep, forgetting fear. So I'm thinking this is a very confusing poem for me but it must have something to do with sleep. So I'm going to know that just for my own sake. When do we sleep? At night? Maybe this is taking place in the nighttime? Okay. Exercise. Yes. Where was I? Okay. The hare sleeps where it lies with wary, half-closed eyes. The cock has ceased to crow, the hen to cluck. Only the fox is out, some heedless duck, or chicken to surprise. Remote, each single star comes out, till there they are, all shining brightly, how the dews fall damp. While close at hand the glowworm lights her lamp, or twinkles from afar. But evening now is done, as much as if the sun, day-giving, had arisen in the east. For night has come, and the great calm has ceased. Quiet sands have run. Whew, that was a read. I'm just going to say that. All right, so that was a lot to read, right? Let's go stanza by stanza. Reminder, what is a stanza? A paragraph in poem form. So I wrote down some notes. Let's look at the first question. What does most of the poem describe? I'm not really sure. Let's go back and annotate. I wrote sleep, nighttime. Let's look at the first stanza together. Oh, pleasant eventide, clouds on the western side grow gray and grayer, hiding the warm sun. The bees and birds, their happy labors done, seek their close nests and bide. So, if I were to come up with a main idea or describe what's happening in the first stanza, lines 1 to 5. Let me just take this out. Lines 1 to 5. What are they talking about? The bees and the birds, their happy labors done, seek their close nests and bide. So it sounds like the animals are just getting settled for the night time, twilight. Let's write that. Things are settling for the night. Going down. That word. Let's look at the next stanza together. Screened in the leafy wood, the stick doves sit and brood. The very squirrel leaps from bough to bough, but lazily pauses and settles now, where he once stored his food. Okay, so from 6 to 10, what on earth are they talking about? So if the squirrel is going to where he stores his food, that should be somewhere where he lives. He's leaping from bough to bough. He's pausing, settling. I'm looking for keywords that give me an idea. So things are settling down for the night. And the squirrel seems to be getting ready for bed. Or to rest. Maybe he doesn't have a bed. Okay, so let's look at the next stanza. And I want you to try this in a turn song. One by one the flowers close, lily and dewy rose, shutting their tender petals from the moon. The grasshoppers are still, but not so soon, are still the noisy crows. All right, so let's have a turn and talk. From lines 11 to 15, what do you think they are talking about? What do you think is happening in that stanza? Go. Okay, so I heard people saying that although it's getting ready for night, it's still nighttime, but the crows are still noisy, as it says in line 15. Good job citing text evidence. It's night, but crows still noisy. So when we're writing notes, we don't have to write complete sentences. Remember that. All right, so do you feel confident that you can practice this work on your own? I'm confident that you can. So I want you to continue annotating, like I just did. Identify what lines are in each stanza. You can even put a semicolon to help you. And then I want you to go through each stanza and figure out what's happening in that particular stanza or particular paragraph in this poem. And then when you're done annotating, you should be able to confidently answer each of the multiple choice questions. So let's try this one together. What does most of the poem describe? Let's use our tools. This answer eliminator is the best thing to help us with our magic maybes, and especially if we're confused between two different questions, two different answers, I'm sorry. The sounds of evening, animals preparing for nightfall, creatures hunting for food at night, the way the weather changes at sunset. All right, I can definitely say I'm not really sure yet, but D is definitely not the answer. I'm going to X that out. And I'm going to leave the rest up to you guys. So I know that we've given you the strategies. Miss Julia practiced with us last class. So this time I want to see you try on your own. When you're finished annotating, continue using these tools, the answer eliminators, to get closest to the best answer possible for each question. And if you need help, raise your hand, and Miss Julia and I will definitely come around and help you out as you go. But I'm confident. Good luck. Keep up the good work. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.